So before the stream, come on game, come on, there we go. So this is the sound screen, and I was playing here with the volume and stuff because I had it maxed out for the intro for master volume. I put it down here, and then I just happened to look down here and I saw text to speech volume, and I go, what the hell is that? I don't remember. I never really paid attention to that before. I'm sure it's been there for a while, but I haven't really noticed it. But for some reason today I did, and I go, well, maybe it's an accessibility thing. And oh look, they've got text to speech for multiplayer. I know that's been in there for a little while, but it turns out, look, there's text to speech. I wonder if this actually works in the game. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, see what this actually does for us, because I'm curious now. I'm curious to see if it's actually going to read all the text for me, so I don't have to. And I'm wondering if it's going to screw up the words as much as I do. So anyway, experimentation time with text to speech. So anyway, happy Wednesday. So this is where we left off yesterday. Again, this is the version, what, 3.7 something something. That number is actually back on the, there we go. 3.7.2, new version, Canis Minor version of the game. They added a little bit of stuff here and there, but it's mostly about the DLC, the First Contact story pack, which we've been taking advantage of, I guess. Well, using. And this is our current empire. We are one, capital R, of course. It should be backwards, but I don't know how to do that. But anyway, Cyclopean type race, so everybody's got one eye. The name of the race is the One, or that's a singular. The Ones is actually plural. We are a fanatic authoritarian governing ethic, along with a little bit of spiritualist. Civics are anglers, which means we like to fish, because this is actually an aquatic race too, or at least they like aquatic worlds at least. And they're environmentalists, so we get a ranger lodge to do stuff for us and that kind of stuff as a building. Then the ruler's title is the Chicken of the Sea, and his first name is Nomad. I'm surprised he's still alive. Actually, the game's actually not that old. We're only 50 years into the game. We didn't get very far yesterday, but that's okay. And then the heir is the Dolphin of the Sea, or is it Dauphin? But we put an L in there just because. And then this is one of the 3 origin stories that come with the DLC. And this is Fear of the Dark. Why this one? Because the other 2 have particular disclaimers at the top of them saying they're difficult start or difficult origin stories. So we just said screw that. We'll take Fear of the Dark. Basically, what it is you start with a third of your population refusing to explore space, living on a separate planet, and we can actually go see where that is. Mituar, is that ours? Yeah, Mitra. This is our. So this is Mituar. This is our home system, and this is where we are. So Mitra is our home planet, and Haven is the split off. That's so a third of our population started over here. They're currently up to, wow, they're up to 32 population, so they're doing pretty well. Now, we do not actually control this world. They are their own little thing. They are still early space age, though, but we cannot help them in any way as far as that goes. Could we invade? Maybe. Is you in the D&D games? But anyway, so, and how do they interact with each other if you can't conquer? Well, they're not a vassal. They do have a little bit of influence on how how things are going for you, kind of, sorta. They have their own little fleet flying around somewhere. Are they still floating around the system? Yeah, there they are. So this is their fleet. They actually have stealth technology already that we don't have. We can't see what their ships actually have, but they've got corvettes and frigates so far, which is better than we only have corvettes. We had a chance to start researching on destroyers, but we went a different route. But yeah, so they have their own little defensive fleet, which is, let's see, this is 1.4, which is as strong as our fleets. So who knows? Who knows? And the actual storyline here, as far as why is the Haven so the people that live there so afraid of the dark? Why do they not want to explore the galaxy and that kind of stuff? Why are they happy with where they are? Well, apparently sometime in the past, this planet was hit by something. They don't know what. And as you can see, it took big chunks out of it. So that's apparently what caused them to think, oh, the space is full of bad things, as we don't want to go there, that kind of stuff. And as a result, as they, like I said, they have a, not necessarily a say, but an opinion about what we're doing as far as going out and meeting new races and forming a federation, all this other fun stuff. And you have little story decisions to make as far as that goes. And it's been entertaining so far. And that's that. Other new stuff, you can actually learn certain technologies through your observation posts. We currently have, what, 4? So we're actually earning, say, experience or research experience by having these guys up and doing stuff. And how aggressive you are and stuff can determine, stuff. It actually tells you, like, we're doing passive observation. So resources produced by observation missions depend on the infiltration level of our spy network.
Gimpy is raising money for the National MS Society for the 10th year in a row here on Twitch. Walk MS 2023 in San Diego is April 22nd, but Mrs. Gimpy, Mickey, Rocket, and Gimpy will be doing private walks in April and May. They are walking 1 mile for every $1,000 raised. If you would like to help with a donation, please visit stompingoutms.org. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And again, that's God, it's going to be here sooner than I thought. But anyway, so passive observation, gain a minor amount of progress to exclusive technologies by studying the utterly alien behavior of our research subject. So that says passive. And then an aggressive, gain a major amount of progress to exclusive technologies. However, specimens are frequently collected to learn as much as possible about their biology and culture. So we could go that way if we really want to. We're allowed to. And it can have unintended consequences. So, if you don't want to deal with some extra stuff, stick on passive. And we don't have cloaking technology yet. But I just realized, can we actually spy on them? I didn't even think about doing that. And where are they? They are not our biggest, the one commune, these guys. We cannot do espionage. Can't spy on them. I wish we could. Kind of made it look like we could, but we can't. So anyway, working through that storyline and see how it goes. And they are fanatic xenophobes and egalitarian. So not our biggest fans. Anyway, this is everybody that we currently have contact with. You can see some really dislike us, some of them kind of really like us. We do have a federation. That's this one's actually a member. He was a co-founder of our federation. These guys, oh no, they haven't joined us yet, because they're already in a different federation. These guys are the association, so they're associates. Why can we not make them federated yet? Because we don't have the acceptance level for them. So we'll be working on that today. Their fleet power is superior. We need to fix that. But again, so anyway, so that's our next guy. And then our actual federation is it's a Holy Galactic Empire, blah, blah. Robotic empires may not be welcomed. The Federation will both focus on spiritual matters and reverence for all things divine. We are a spiritual federation thing, so that's what we're currently working on. Still level 1, but working towards level 2. And again, only 2 members, and we're fairly equal-ish. Economy's not too different. We're a little bit higher than them. Our fleet, wow, their fleet is way bigger than ours now. We used to have a bigger fleet, I think. Tech-wise, we're behind. Opinion, they still like us. So basically what we need to do is start working on our fleet again. We just did not too long ago get a naval capacity increase, so that's the thing that we're supposed to be focusing on. Okay, let's go through here and so stations. All our stations have been upgraded currently to what they can get to. As usual, you know, have a, or at least usual for me, have a couple of shipyards to produce, you know, ships with a fleet, and then go trade after that, if it's appropriate for the race, which it usually is for me. So anyway, so we've got the little parking spots. Oh, so gave him 3 shipyards. He's got 2 in guns. That's okay. And you've got 3 shipyards. Okay, so we're good there. We just need to make some more ships. Although I don't really want to make any more corvettes. Or should I? Because this fleet is fleet manager. So we have room for 20 more points worth of ships, because we have 20 frigates there, and oh, this one isn't full yet. So we need 7 more frigates. We should start working on that. This should get them all. That should finish them all up. So all the corvette stuff, interceptors. Okay, so that's where we are there. We're not at war with anybody. Doesn't look. As far as the Senate or the galactic community goes, we are in last place. Yes, we are. We are in last place as far as strength goes. So something for us to work on again. So who died this time? Chicken of the Sea Nomad has died at the age of 82. So that means our next little ruler has taken over. That would be Cognat the First. And then the next is Shiripa is our next leader. His traits are fertility preacher. Food from jobs increased by 10%. Population growth speed is increased by 5%. So he's going to be helping us expand.
New colonial outpost.
Outpost build cost is reduced by 15%. Starbase influence cost is reduced by 15%. So he's a good leader. Hopefully he doesn't die too soon. How old is he? He's 75, so he's not going to be around too long.
We are receiving strange reports from our observers above Vardavar I. One of the native kingdoms has rallied under a mysterious religious figure, and we have seen evidence of them using advanced technology far beyond their current level of development. Could this be related to our missing scientist? Option: curious.
Okay, so that's so it's Veronica reading the text-to-speech stuff, so we're going to turn that up. See if that's a little bit better next time. So that's going to be way easier for me to do. That's going to be, if they read all that stuff, that's going to be way easier for me. Why did I not know about this earlier? Awareness increased. The awareness of the in the Valorant system has increased to partially aware. Industrial age. So these guys. So this is the other rune ring stuff.
Stronger.
So observation post, so we can just passive observation still. So the industrial age. Can we spy on them? Apparently we can maybe spy on them. We don't really have envoys to do that, but we could if we wanted to. Switch somebody else out. Increase awareness, spread disinformation, plant advanced knowledge, indoctrinate the society, or infiltrate the government. You're wondering why she was reading? Yeah, because we turned it on. I discovered that they do text-to-speech in this game. It's like, how long has that been in the game and nobody told me? Okay, so again, spy network. So that's our relationship with our Federation, which we want. We gotta have working on the guest contact stuff. Busy improving relations with that. Quirksland regime. I think that's who is that? Hungarian administration. So these guys are. So these guys are the one. We have good relations with them. We can probably turn that one off. These guys are the ones which. Oh, even those guys. So we don't really need to work on them so much. I'm not Hungarian. These guys. We want these guys to like us more, so we'll continue doing that. So we're going to take you guys off their job and. No? Those by increase our infiltration level, providing them how to reassign them. We will be unable to reassign them for. So we can't do that right now. Why can't we Why can't we spy on them? I thought that was the whole point of having observation points was so we can spy on them.
Hello everyone. My name is Veronica and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel. If you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also find Gimpy on YouTube where he posts previous episodes and highlights of the stream.
These guys
just scroll down under the video screen and click the YouTube button in the About section. Then click the subscribe button to follow. Also, please click the like buttons on his videos. You will feel better about yourself. That's it. Thanks. We have received our first clandestine report from Spymaster Elamano, inside the Bzedian Society. This marks the foundation of our first spy network within a primitive society. This endeavor grants us unique opportunities to influence this primitive society, as well as presenting some unique problems, namely, our operatives will have to carefully conceal their extraterrestrial nature. Carelessness may lead to unforeseen consequences. Option, okay.
So, these guys. Feudal realm, splintered species. So we don't really know much about them, do we?
Intellectual booty.
Okay, first contact event pending. So, our guest is very talkative, but cultural differences are making it hard for us. What am I doing?
Our guest is very talkative, but cultural differences are making it hard for us to understand each other. We now know that the creature is female, refers to herself as the Many-Tentacled One and seems to be a member of a spiritual order it calls the Veilfarers. But we still don't understand what this jaunt she keeps mentioning is, or how it can be responsible for her sudden appearance. Our communication efforts continue. Option, interesting.
So, can you hear her okay? I mean, she's kind of low, but I can play with the volume of the game a little bit more if necessary. Engineering research is plus 20%. Destroyer, coil gun. Let's get destroyers out. You can hear her, but can you understand her? See if that makes it any better. You can understand her, okay. And then here's a question. Awareness decreased. The increase of the infiltration in the Vener system has decreased to lower awareness. Why? Here's something interesting is Empire map mode. How come they're the same color as us?
It seems that the scientists on our partner planet have made several new, and admittedly insightful, breakthroughs into the field of construction optimization. Despite their parochial tendencies, it's fair to say that in this case their technology has outstripped our own achievements. They are willing to share their insights with us in exchange for us ceasing our current first contact procedures, a steep price, to be sure. Option 1, fine, we will comply. Option 2, send in the spies. Option 3, are they mad? We would never agree to this.
Send in the spies. So we get construction templates, technology start working on if we want. So again, what I was talking about is our empires are the same colors, which I don't understand why theirs are the same as ours. There, we'll prefer this. So green is us, purple is Federation members. And these guys are how much they like us. Basically, the greener the better. Red is bad. So, not too bad then. Okay, so, oh, we're losing food. We should probably not sell so much food then. There. So we won't sell 20, we'll sell 70 instead of 90. You guys, what are you doing over here? Let's see. Oh, we haven't built the mines here or there. I guess we should grab this while I'm thinking about it.
The members of the Holy Galactic Gimper are united around their spirituality. We found common ground in the fact that we are believers, but the Federation is home to various creeds, faiths, and churches, and cohabitation is sometimes uneasy. Lately, members of the Clearkeys have been pushing for the Holy Galactic Gimper to hold an ecumenical council, where we could gather to try and outline a unified dogma, and define the core tenets of our beliefs. The idea was approved, and every member of the Holy Galactic Gimper has been asked to send representatives.
Gimper.
Option 1, our envoy in the Federation can handle this. Option 2, this is nonsense. Only send a token delegation.
Nope, this is good. So, you're way up there, you're down here, so you get to go take care of this? Yeah, you're close. The last of our star bases in this area, or outpost, whatever. Up here. Oh, we were headed over here. I'm sorry, Space Amoeba, 680. I guess we could send a fleet over. We could send both fleets over. They're ready to go. So, this is a cruiser for us.
In an unexpected turn of events, grief seems to have taken over Gigawa. We are witnessing an unprecedented halt in the work of an entire hive, in the aftermath of the death of a singular drone. We are unsure why this drone is different from the others, but the hive seems to be holding some kind of ceremony, where the drone is almost religiously cut to pieces, before those pieces are taken to various nurseries for newborn drones. Moments later, the entire hive springs in motion again. This is highly confusing, and looks a lot like an event of social or spiritual importance. Option, what does it mean?
Hey, we get research. So, that's coming from our observation post of that particular planet, and they're basically a hive mind, a primitive hive mind, over in this system here. There's our observation that we're just, observing.
Preaching a radical doctrine of planetary unification, a charismatic leader has appeared on Deneb IIB. Now, only a small and relatively ill-equipped band of rebels stands opposed to majoritarian rule. Option 1, watch and learn. Option 2, aid leader. Option 3, aid rebels.
So this is, again, another observation point. Observation post thing. Situation approach is set to watch and learn. This will have the following effects. Watching this unfold should provide some interesting insights. Aid the leader. Aid the leader of the major faction will require an investment of resources. So upkeep, 50 energy, 50 minerals, 25 unity and 25 alloys. Really? Aid the rebels, same difference. More aid. Planetary unification, a charismatic leader has appeared on Deneb 10. Now only a small and relatively ill-equipped band of rebels stands opposed to the majoritarian rule. We'll aid the leader just to see where this goes.
Research complete.
Starbase capacity increased by 2. Yay. Let's see.
The question of are Shinix touched by the divine is a delicate one, and many sensitivities were hurt in the discussions surrounding it. In particular, our delegation was most headstrong and has been recorded insulting several other high-ranking prelates from other empires. They have requested an official apology from us. Option 1. Actions like these are not acceptable. Apologize. Option 2. Dimwits all. We stand by what we said.
We'll take the hit. Okay, pausing. So, claim influence reduced, blocker stuff, orbital filing system. So, edicts funds increased though. Unity from bureaucrats, blah blah blah. Claim influence clause. These are all the technologies that we're learning, or that we picked up from the observation stuff. So available envoys increased by half. Ancient ruination glare. Satisfying insults. Oh, that's another one for picking up
Saturday
envoys.
and Sunday, March 18th and 19th are the monthly giveaways for March. A $25 Steam gift card will be given away each day. You have to be a follower of the channel and present to win. Check with Gimpy if you have any questions about the giveaway. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching. Again, that's this weekend for the giveaway. Sorry, I was reading. We're going to go to blocks. Okay. So, military fleets. Some amoeba over here. That'll open up those 3 systems to us. We don't have a science ship over in this area, do we? Where are our science ships and what are they doing? Oh, they're digging. This one's assisting with research. So, since you're not really helping too much, we're going to have you come over in this area so we can deal with this situation. Oh, there's an excavation site. Oh, they added assist research. Nice. Only took, I don't know how long for them to put that in, but you know, whatever. I'll take it. Okay, all you guys, go meet up over here. Uh-oh.
After a long day spent discussing when was the universe created, a feast was held following the custom of one of the delegations. As part of it, a ritual draft was served to everyone. To them, it is a mild inebriant, but our delegation had an extreme reaction to it, and moments later, the room erupted in a general brawl. Things have settled down and no major injuries have been reported, but we are regarded as having started the fight, and are expected to issue an apology. Option 1, apologize. Option 2, blame the drinks.
Guess we're apologizing. Hey, Hurricane, welcome back. Is one of the text-to-voice choices in Obsidian's Pentiment? Well, here there was no choice; it was just text-to-speech, so, which is fine. I'm not opposed to Veronica being our storyteller here.
The ruins seem to be centuries, if not millennia, old. At first it seems to be only a large open-air dome, but as we are excavating the outermost parts we quickly find ourselves in what appears to be the derelict slums of a city. As a large gate blocks our progress deeper into the city, our scientists speculate that it is split into a hierarchy, each layer holding one class of the people of the city. It does not take long before one of our scientists finds alien remains in subterranean ruins under the broken concrete floor. After the first corpse is found, however, we start finding remains all over the slums, be it in the streets, in what would have been their homes, or hanging from the most remote parts of the ceiling. It is unclear what killed them, but it is a grisly sight.
Hey, Catgear, welcome back.
What do the other layers have in store for us?
All kinds of layers. Okay, so you guys are all going that way. Fog right now. Okay, so it'll take them a little bit of time to get over there, and then
grow ever stronger.
Go beat up on the whatever they are, amoebas. Okay, research, mining. So this colony, she finally takes over the stream. She's better at reading than I am. Even though she doesn't know how to pronounce Gimpire, she thinks it's Gimper. But, you know, what are you going to do? So we need, what is it? We need strongholds that help boost up our naval capacity, because we're a little bit behind in that area. So that one, tradition. So we're doing the second batch of the expansion stuff. So Starbase influence costs are reduced by 10%. My narrator voice is way better than Veronica, and she may have to ban you for saying that one, Catgear.
Truly, we are blessed. Whatever apprehensions we had going in have been proven wrong, and everything went quite smoothly. Precise theology and inspired discourse have allowed us to create a harmonious corpus of our new dogma. We will surely revisit it later, but for now, it will serve as the foundation of a unified faith that will bring us closer to each other. Option, excellent.
For 20 years, plus 20% in unity from jobs, and plus 3 monthly Federation XP. That'll work. So, Federation working well together so far. Shit, we actually need to claim these, don't we? Situations, New World Order. This is unification. Oh, so this is a thing happening on one of the planets we're observing. Observation insights. Getting insights from our primitive study subjects. We may discover a new insight technology. Okay. So stuff. New stuff. Situations. The guest. So this is our little tentacled friend on our capital, or at our capital. I'm not reading that.
Our researchers have finally pieced together the many tentacled one's story. Our guest is the head of a spiritual order focused on studying the jaunt, a Shinnik technique that allows for instantaneous teleportation anywhere in the universe. Throughout the history of her species, no one has ever managed to perform a successful jaunt. Until now. The many-tentacled one is unsure about her ability to replicate the feat, and her energy reserves are currently too depleted to make another attempt. For now, she would like to remain in our care, and will repay our hospitality by aiding our researchers. Option 1, we'll welcome her as an equal. Option 2, she can stay in our vivisection labs.
Welcome her as an equal.
We are being contacted by aliens.
So, technology-wise, how good is she? She's psychic. Research speed and that. Research speed, psionics. Psionics is sociology, right? I think it's society. I think psionics falls under there. Number 2. No, not number 2. You're a number 2. I think this is that. So, a little floating thing with tentacles. Okay, see how that works.
We grow ever stronger.
Always growing stronger. Okay, so we're running out of housing here. Actually, no, we're running out of jobs. Mining world. Oh, amenities is the problem there. These guys produce amenities. They have what? One clerk job, they produce amenities. Agri-world. So, amenities are a problem here too? Shit. Our rangers produce amenities. Gas plant engineer. Oh, those are the ones. Okay. Pearl diver. Forcer. Priest. Where are rangers? Oh, there's 2 rangers. So they're already producing all the stuff. Uh-oh.
For the rebels on Deneb IIB, the future appears grim. Under the inspired leadership
Gimpy
of
is raising money for the National MS
Unification
Society for the 10th year in a row here on Twitch.
Walk MS 2023 in San Diego is April 22nd, but Mrs. Gimpy, Mickey, Rocket, and Gimpy will be doing private walks in April and May. They are walking 1 mile for every $1,000 raised. If you would like to help with a donation, please visit stompingoutms.org. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so I'll read this one. So, under the inspired leadership of Octan whoever, pro-unification forces have seized power in most of the planet's population centers. Unity is opposed with an iron fist. Any dissent will swiftly be crushed. Is swiftly crushed. Understood. Devastation. We can do more to aid the pro-unification forces. Just give them flat-out stuff. Oh, we have a food problem, don't we? Add devastation. Continued support will increase the chances of a successful outcome by a modest percentage. Still devastation, though. Yeah, we can throw money at them.
Intellectual booty.
So, these guys need more stuff. Okay, blockers. Research. Edicts Fund. Base intel level increased by 2. Planetary Capital, Hall of Judgment. We should probably get that. And our capital buildings. Resources from jobs increased by 10%. Upkeep from jobs increased by 10%. Planetary Capital first. So these guys are fine for now. Forge World. You guys look like you're good enough for now too. They're good. Building new. Good for now too. Colony, you are pretty set and you're still developing. these guys. Migration treaty. Acceptance is still not going to go up to it. That isn't going up too fast. Might be a fleet thing. Dig site.
Whereas the first circle seemingly consisted of the ramshackle dwellings of the outcast and destitute, this second circle has more in common with the SMR test notion of proper urban planning. We find several open squares our scientists assume used to be marketplaces, though anything from back then has long since decayed to the point where it is impossible to make out what it might have been. It does not take long before we start finding unusual remains in this part of the dome too. They seem to have perished in much the same way as their poorer neighbors, and we find the dead strewn all over. Option: yet another brutal sight.
Very brutal.
We grow ever stronger.
Okay, so you're set for now. Let's see, we're gonna send you. Oh, we can move down here and build stuff there. So, military fleet still heading up here because we're going to go beat up on some space amoeba soon. They should be bailing from them.
Intellectual booty.
Hyperdrive 2, yay. Okay, so. Let's get the. Oh, we got ion disruptors on the list. Let's get the blue lasers off first. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so they go with migration treaty, and now we have to make sure we don't indentured servitude. Set the rights, citizenship of full citizenship. So the new guys, they're not here yet. See how nice we are? They know these people coming in. Full citizenship viewer. It's funny how the default setting is they come in as slaves, but you know.
A new colony has been founded.
Yay. Okay, these colonizable. We want habitability first. Oh, look at that nice ocean world. Resident crystals governing ethics attraction plus 33%. Happiness increased by 10%. Yes, we want to colonize that with our own people. Wild storms. Habitability is decreased. Happiness is decreased. Physics. How have we not settled this one first yet? Oh, these are the new guys. What's different between them? Clone soldiers. Adaptive. Quick learners. Wasteful. Quick learners. Wasteful. Why are they different? Why are there two of them? Yeah, food. Why are we not making enough food? It's hurting our income. We need more food. Production. Fat and happy.
As the civil conflict continues to rage on Deneb IIB, pro-unification forces are on the brink of victory. However, far from the front lines, local governors are seizing every opportunity to enrich themselves. For now, criticism remains muted, but the corruption has not gone unnoticed by the local population. Option 1, understood. Option 2, have our agents legitimize the regime.
So society research, continued support will increase the chances of a successful outcome by a modest percentage. Wow, that's a lot of influence to lose. Either way, there's devastation. I really don't want to give up any more of this influence, because that's a lot. Understood. Gain progress towards the next insight technology. Thank you. Again, that's way too much influence. You guys, we need a gene clinics. There we go. To help with the growth of the population and more food. Do more food. So gene clinics, stronghold, temple.
We grow ever stronger.
We're there? I think we're there. Okay, so military fleets go park there for a second. This mining world. Ah, look, they need amenities. They're not supposed to be using up as much amenities. I'm guessing this isn't enough employees or something. More consumer goods, so shit. You know what, we have to get this stability under control. Stronghold in there. A stronghold here already. Again, amenities are a problem. What the hell? We have ranger lodges. We have temple. Produce amenities?
It's that time again. Drink some water to keep that brain moist.
This decrease turns consumer goods into unity. Population amenities usage reduction. Edicts fund and extraction. See if that helps at all. Probably won't. Okay, so we've arrived here. Heat up on this poor
Technology secured.
amoeba. Oh look, we can build destroyers now. Oh, look at all this stuff. Crystal mines or synthetic crystal plants? What's the difference? Translucents turn minerals into rare crystals. Ah, look at that. What's this do then? They just produce crystals. Huh. 2 crystals for 10 minerals. This is just 2 crystals. I'll get this one going first. These guys go flying through. See, the amoeba isn't hostile. Uh-oh.
On Datinal 2, the inhabitants are using crudely carved imagery to express and share ideas. Samples documented by our researchers indicate that the inhabitants have an awareness of celestial bodies beyond their own planet, and have even begun to document constellations. Their early attempts at charting the stars are fairly accurate for such a young civilization, but not so much that they couldn't be improved should we wish to drop some hints. Option 1. Continue passive observations. They must learn on their own. Option 2. Perhaps we could subtly point them in the right direction.
Okay, so first option. Gain progress towards our next insight technology. Hands-off approach modifier added for 2 years. Gain 25% more observation insight progress. Or Gain progress towards our next insight technology. Society research gained 1,700 points. Let's do this one. Gonna wait for him to leave so he doesn't get any ideas about sticking around. Because as long as this thing is here, all these little science ships should not be here. There he goes. Okay. Come on, Amoeba.
Fleet engaged. Give them a broadside.
After long years living among us, Darmol has decided to return home. Some in government are opposed to the move, as Darmol has become an integral part of our senior leadership. To entice them to stay on a few more years, we might offer an incentive. Never underestimate the power of a well-placed bribe. Come on, you pansy, get back in there and fight.
We'll keep our word. We need to keep it on cost. We lose a bunch of unity and leader experience gain. And then we'll keep our word. Let him go. More digging.
When the gate into the third layer finally opens, our scientists, curious about what they will find next, flood into what is soon identified as a yet wealthier region of the old dome. At this point we can make confident assumptions about what to expect from this city. Shortly after we enter the lair, one of our people suddenly turns around and savagely attacks a colleague. The victim is already dead on the ground by the time the unexpected assailant is restrained. In the aftermath we are completely unable to get anything sensible out of the crazed scientist, and get no better understanding of what happened to them. This layer is significantly smaller than either of the previous two, and it is most likely the final one before we reach the center of the dome. Only one gate remains. Option: our scientists stand ready to check the final layer.
I think they have a choice. Okay, our science ship. Go research project. That survey there. Then go survey there, and then survey there. And our fleets. So that's the only hostiles in this area other than these guys up here. Way, way bigger than us. Amoeba swarms. Oh, that's going to go well for us, I can tell.
We grow ever stronger.
Okay, Mendoc. Let's see, let's basically extend. We actually have some room to go over here, don't we? That's the edge of the galaxy. Space amoeba. More space amoebas. Think the space amoebas talk to each other? Do they know that we're beating up on their friends? Next Federation Light has been unlocked. Our new Federation perks are now active. Yay. Amoeba swarm. Ugh. Capital upgrade. Finally. Uh-oh.
Across Deneb IIB rebel forces are in retreat, and Acton in Transec reigns supreme. However, even as a new world order is taking shape, fractures have begun to appear. High-ranking officials pit themselves against victorious generals, and profit-hungry courtiers stalk the halls of power. Acton in Transec is about to be tested on a whole new battlefield. Option 1, understood. Option 2, begin arming the pro-unification forces.
It's only money. Advance our operating world will increase the chances of a successful outcome by a significant percentage. Sure, it's only money. Do they know they're even being helped? They gotta know they're being helped by stuff. People. Things. So Deneb 2, that is here.
Research complete. Flotsam salvaged.
Debris is analyzed. We have analyzed the blah blah blah. So regenerative hull tissue increased by 10%. Amoeba breeding program increased by 10%. And society research 40 points. Reveal our presence. No. Why would we do that? Incoming transmission. Uh oh.
Greetings, friends. It has been some time. Firstly, I want to apologize for all the effort you've put into looking for me. My disappearance on Vardavar I was entirely intentional. The primitives here have come to see me as something of a god, and why shouldn't they? After much deliberation, I have decided to bring true civilization to these primitives. Option 1, what has gotten into you? Option 2, you will report for immediate extraction. Option 3, you're insane. Option 4, goodbye.
I don't know where this is taking place. Oh, Varlavar. So, what's gotten into you? You will report. What has gotten into you?
I was tired. Tired of short-sighted ethical constraints, tired of the ridicule I suffered at the hands of my peers. Most of all, I was tired of passive observation. What nonsense! It is our duty to interfere with primitive cultures, to guide and shape them along a path of our choosing. Observing quietly from the sidelines is just a shameful way of skirting responsibility.
Ouch.
Option 1, what has gotten into you? Option 2.
You're saying goodbye. You report for immediate extraction.
It is too late.
Hello
for that,
everyone.
I'm afraid. My name is Veronica and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel.
Veronica talking over
If
Veronica.
you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also find Gimpy on YouTube where he posts previous episodes and highlights of the stream. Just scroll down under the video screen and click the YouTube button in the About section. Then click the subscribe button to follow. Also, please click the like buttons on his videos. You will feel better about yourself. That's it. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Happy Wednesday.
It is too late for that, I'm afraid. I am done taking orders from those beneath my station. My intellect was at your disposal, but you chose to squander it. Here I am treated with the respect I deserve. This is my home now. With my knowledge and the technical schematics I brought with me, I will jumpstart this culture and usher in a golden age. Option 1, what has gotten into you?
Let's see what happens to him. There's no problem there. We'll just see what happens to him. Society. Leader's lifespan increased by 10 years. Research stuff. Naval capacity. So we're getting to the point of terraforming at least. Let's do leader age. Oh, it says insight breakthrough imminent. We've gathered enough information to create a new insight. To blah blah blah. The next time we have an observation event that would advance our insight, we will gain a new research option. Works for me. Oh, where's our... Those guys are up there. Do an outpost up there. You're down here. When you're done, you're going to fly up here. Oh, we can build more stations, too. We got room for... 2 more. We got room for another envoy, too. Oh, no, we got enough room for 4 stations. How'd that happen? I thought it was only 2.
We grow ever stronger.
Prime. So I guess the question is, where do we want to build these stations? Let's go build this
Technology
one.
secured. A system has been charted.
Self-evolving logic. Research alternatives. Alternatives increased by 1. Let's do research alternatives. We should have a station here, this other sector. And we're gonna have another sector up here more than likely. Or don't we already? We don't have one already. Why not? The nav. No, that's observation points. That's why. Oh, we don't actually have it. So colony up here. Uh-oh.
Our colony on Trin's Promise Prime has encountered an odd situation. We have apparently settled on the back of a gargantuan amphibian reptile, whose bony shell is formed of various exotic minerals. Most of what we thought were local islands have turned out to be these creatures. Our colonists have begun to refer to them as nemes. They seem harmless enough, and as long as we don't dig too deep into their shell, they should barely notice us. Option, carry on.
Moving islands modifier added. Housing reduced by 10%, but society research jobs are increased by 15%, or yeah, whatever. So we have turtles that we're living on, apparently. Anyway, oh, Gaia World. Okay, Mrs. Skimpy has to go to Costco real quick. And I'll see how real quick to her is like 2 hours. So let's see how long it takes for the dog cam to get out. I will keep an eye on that, and dog cam may be coming up here in the next few minutes, depending on how long it takes for her to leave. Anyway, so we do have a colony down here at Mendoc. We have one here at Trin's Promise. Oh, this is the turtle one. We'll put the station here. At the very least, this will be a choke point coming in. Although we can actually expand this way, can't we? Got lots of room. Well then. Another construction ship to get up. We're getting a little spread out. So he's coming over to
grow
that.
ever stronger.
Research stations, mining stations. Savannah World. Don't want to keep expanding that way or not. I don't know if I want to, because this is a... what's this? Grip of the Otark.
In a stunning display of strategy, Ucton Intransec has crushed the planet's resistance. Sleeper agents in the rebel ranks precipitated a coordinated and planet-wide attack. Before the rebel commanders knew what was happening, their positions were overwhelmed. Deneb IIB is now a unified world.
Excellent.
Option, excellent.
Several modifier added for 10 years. Happiness is 10%. Authoritarian ethics attraction is 50%. Monthly unity increased by 10%. Society research gained for us, I'm guessing. We will gain a new society. Insight technology. And they shift their ethics towards fanatic authoritarianism, which is us. Fanatic authoritarian ethic gained concludes the New World Order situation. So that worked. It's totally safe. Welcome back to Spiridor. We're the ones who supported them, so I mean that happened because of us. We fed them all the resources they needed to, you know, for that guy to rule the planet. Gene Clinic, Stronghold, Temple, this monument. Same difference. Upgrade. They need more housing and stuff. More food. Oh, look at that freaking consumer goods are just disappearing. Three available jobs. But they're not means there's, yeah.
Land ho! A new colony is underway. We grow ever stronger.
Okay, so minimal Federation centralization. Change to low. Yes, low is good. Got to look at our laws here. Succession type is set rotation. 20 years is good. Can subjects join? Yes. War declarations has to be unanimous for now. Invite members unanimous as well. Separate treaties are allowed, so we're fine. Yes, I know I have a problem there. I'm not selling those, am I? I'm buying them. I need to buy more. It's going to eat up some money.
We grow ever stronger.
Target up the computer. Transit hub. Yes, we want a transit hub.
Gimpy is raising money for the National MS Society for the 10th year in a row here on Twitch. Walk MS 2023 in San Diego is April 22nd, but Mrs. Gimpy, Mickey, Rocket, and Gimpy will be doing private walks in April and May. They are walking 1 mile for every $1,000 raised. If you would like to help with a donation, please visit stompingoutms.org. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And
as soon as the final gate opens up, waves of intense Chinook energy wash upon our scientists. Most of them collapse in apparent agony, leaving only a few to make their way into the actual layer itself. It seems to be a large temple, with a massive dais or altar in the middle of it. All across the walls there are huge diagrams of different star systems, and a repeated one seems to center on A Clinda itself. Making their way closer to the middle, the few scientists that remain find that it is in fact an imposing machine fashioned in the form of an old altar. Option: let us tinker with this machine and see what we can find.
idiots. Anyway, dog cam's up, lower right hand corner. There's Rocket. You see another little dog in there, brown and white one. That's Mickey.
As they start tinkering with the machine, they are suddenly beset by a shared auditory hallucination, a screaming command by something to be unearthed, unshackled. Visions of a creature ripping apart the A-Clinda system plays over and over in their heads, as the creature's demands grow shriller. Several of the scientists fall unconscious, unable to deal with the unabating torrents of Chinook pain that rack their bodies. Option 1, rip the machine apart before it can cause any more harm. Option 2, let it out.
Veronica is making me question my pronunciation of psionic for all these years because she's saying it's Shannock or Shinnick. So I'm going to guess it's psionic, but she's making me rethink my pronunciations. Probably before it can cause any more harm, so that's engineering stuff. Let it out. An Eldritch Horror will be released in the system. The event incoming transmission happens in 10 days. Changes hostility to neutral. No. No. Psionic. I say psionic. But Veronica says it's Shinnick. Or Cynic. She says Shinnick or something like that. Cynic. I've always said it's psionic. What do I know? I'm not an AI.
We grow ever stronger.
Oh, got to rename this. This is not supposed to be Polymax stuff. This is supposed to be Rockets Armada. Scientist died on this ship, so anomaly discovery chance, research speed. I'll throw you on the ship. Oh, you're not one of us. You're one of them. Oh, that's a dig site there. Dig site down here, dig site over there. Looks like you're headed down over here to there and excavate away. Supposed to be a choke point? Sort of. It is actually a choke point coming up out of there. Kinda from there. So. And this one, you're up there. This is definitely a choke point as well. So, shipyard for repairs and gun battery for defense and crew quarters for parking. New trends. Oh, sorry, not yet. So, empire size from systems reduced by 25%, and from planets by 25% as well. So, yeah, let's get that down. Okay, we're up to 255 on empire size. Ouch.
Technology secure.
Crystal mines. Civilian fabricators, so consumer goods from artisans.
Establishing a new
consumer goods from artisans. Minerals upkeep. Blah. Artisan jobs. Artisans turn minerals into consumer goods.
The fleet has been refitted.
Yes. Okay, new guy. You are supposed to be going... Oh, let's cut us off there. You're supposed to be going this way. Need more alloys.
A system has been charted.
Consumer goods are going down the tubes. Where else can we get consumer goods from? Hydroponic farms? No. Guess we should put a stronghold here, huh? unemployment. How about, where are they? Building industries, get that up and going. Leadership lifespan increased by 10 years. Blockers, edicts fund, more blockers. Edicts fund. Okay, edicts. So I thought we turned that off. Fleet supremacy. No. Capacity. This is energy. We need to pause for a second. Look at this stuff. Mining subsidy. So this is miner strategic resource gatherers output increased by 50%. 50%. That's a pretty big jump. Farmer production. So we can crank out a lot of food and then sell it to buy the consumer goods we need. Getting icky again? Why would it be getting icky? Looks like we need to sell some crystals. Minerals, sorry. Sell 100. We need to buy 20 more of these. Ugh. More food production.
Hey, Kitty, have you hydrated lately?
Nope.
If not, you really should. As colony interest and promise has been flourishing, the adolescents of this new world have sought to create entertainment themselves, as youth are wont to do. Some groups have made a game of sneaking up as close as they dare to their locomotive's head. Unfortunately, this daring activity has led to tragedy. After startling the beast, several young ones fell off on their massive creature, resulting in injuries and one fatality. Distraught colonists are now asking for something to be done about these brutish humans.
Veronica sounds like she's dying because that's actually the text-to-speech inside the game, so that's why that sounds, because that's coming from the game itself. Look at that in a second. Anyway, something must be done. Special project or tragedy after startling the beast, several young ones left off. This creature resulting in injuries and one fatality. A lot of these, they're fun. Moving islands modifier removed. On the backs of Nema's modifier added housing. That's 10%. Society research from jobs increased by. So it's removed. So that's actually modifier added. Oh, that doesn't make sense. That's what is added to us. Yeah, something must be done.
There is new information in the situation log.
Study the Nema. 6 months. Why not? Okay, let's see. What could possibly be screwing up my game sound? Almost anything, I'm sure, because that's what usually works. Let's see if this helps. Another dig site we found somewhere. So many dig sites this time around. Is the sound better in the game? Better now? Okay. Thank you. Overwhelming? Oh, that's not good.
Our observation post above Deneb IIB has detected an illegal settlement on the moon's surface. It appears to be some kind of outpost set up by Da-1 smugglers and other criminal elements from the WR-1. There have already been isolated incidents where the smugglers came into contact with the native primitives, some of which ended in violence. We need to act quickly to contain this situation and remove the criminals before they can cause any more damage. Option: clear them out.
Increases awareness by 30. Oh, we cannot reveal this until this event concludes.
There is new information in the situation log.
Of course there is. So, Federation numbers
A
slowly
special
getting better.
project is finished.
Having tasked our best biologists and engineers with devising potential solutions for the NEMA dilemma on Trin's Promise Prime, several proposals are now ready to be presented. We've considered everything from the most rational to the most extreme of ideas. The urgency of this situation demands we must skip straight to live field tests. Option 1, breed more NEMAs and safeguard them for more living space. Option 2, enslave the NEMAs so that they become deferential and compliant. Option 3, enough. Sedate the NEMAs, and start drilling their shells.
God. So projects. Enslave them so they become deferential and compliant. Breed more nemas and safeguard them for more living space. One of our traits as a race is we're environmentalists. So this is the one we actually probably want to go with. That's the most environmentally friendly, I would think. This one is definitely not. So
There is new information in the situation log.
breeding program. See, we're trying to keep our planets under
We
control
grow
here.
ever stronger. We grow ever stronger.
It's a Gaia world.
We grow ever stronger.
Awareness decreased. The awareness of the society and the NEM system has decreased to low awareness. So
Space charts updated.
means they don't know we're there, right? What's this? Sigma aliens. Oh, we don't know who's in there.
We
Savannah
grow
world.
ever stronger. we grow ever stronger.
Dump, 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 dump. Okay, so we got all kinds of stuff to survey up here. Do automatic stuff. Have fun. We need cloaking technology so that we can more actively observe these races. Governor gained a trait. He is adaptable. Influence gain increased by 25%. Enough. We need a sector. We need a governor now. We need a cost and upkeep. Unity from priests. Sure, we're gonna have priests. So, is Deneb? Oh, Deneb's not a colony. We have room for one more space station.
Technology secured.
Mendoc. Civilian fabricator, so that'll help us with minerals upkeep of artisans increased by 1, artisan jobs increased by 2, artisans turn minerals into consumer goods. Habitability? Exotic gas refiners, get that going. Oh, forgot. We have destroyers to design. Gunship interceptor ship. No, we do gunship stuff. Lasers.
Saturday and Sunday, March 18th and 19th are the monthly giveaways for March. A $25 Steam gift card will be given away each day. You have to be a follower of the channel and present to win. Check with Gimpy if you have any questions about the giveaway. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you for watching, and again, giveaways are this weekend. Destroyer. These guys get up pretty close, so missiles. You can never have enough missiles in your fleet. You are a picket ship, and your actual title is going to be picket ship, not a boat, a ship. Assign the ship for a ship role. This will select ship sections. Replace components that best fit the selected role. You lie. So lie. Okay, so we don't need you anymore. I don't think there's any other... I mean, a large, but... Oh, gunship. Oh, so it changed. Did they change this? We don't really need those, because that's what cruisers and stuff are going to be more for. Bigger guns. Yeah, this will be fine. Okay, now we can... Where is it? There. To add ships, we need destroyers and picket ships. How many points is that? Oh, we're up to 50 on here. Leave that for now. 5 and 3 will be fine. And I guess this will be
We
our
grow ever stronger.
other armada. New fleet to grow. Because we got lots of space naval size, or naval capacity. You.
A new
ship
colony
upkeep.
has been founded.
And of course, this will be Veronica's armada. Can't add ships to this? Why can't we add ships to this fleet?
Project done. Not so special now, was it?
Campaign yesterday's or new. This is new. Welcome back, Brew. This is new as of yesterday.
After initial trials with the adult specimen, our zoologists have set up a Nema breeding system on Trin's Promise Prime in the hopes of introducing more giant Nemas to our oceans. The breeders warn that this cannot continue indefinitely, and that the planet can only support 3, perhaps 4 more Nemas. The estimated time until we have our next Nema should be about 10 years. Option: we'd best commence breeding, then.
Yes, we should. Yeah, this is the same thing as yesterday. How come we can't add to this fleet, though? What's the deal? And it's a derelict cruiser, but why can't we add to it? Or is that what the retrofit's going to do for us? I don't
We
know.
grow ever stronger.
Some are like that. I don't understand why. It makes no sense. Class, it makes no sense to me either. Yep. Uh-oh.
Our observation of Gigawa I proceeds, and we have recently discovered what we first mistook as rogue drones. These individuals live in the periphery of the local hive settlements, and seem to have acquired partial, if not full autonomy. They seem entirely disconnected from the collective, and some even seem to enjoy leisurely moments, comfortable doing nothing. They, however, appear to still depend on the hive for resources, and are basically trading with the collective. Why the hive has not seen fit to exterminate these rogue drones remains a mystery. Option: symbiosis with a hive is a rare thing.
Gain progress towards our next insight technology. Society research gain 1800, almost 1900. Uh-oh.
We have encountered another abandoned gateway, this time in the Karazit system. Unlike the previous one, this gateway has not been altered in any obvious way, and our scans indicate that it is still connected to the rest of the network. However, it is currently inoperable due to its poor condition. Option: intriguing.
Has Scott been scouted? No, she has not. Scout Watch 2023 continues. We're almost 3 months into it. Yay. Construction ship over here. Build that. Oh, no, you're... We're done. Go build up there. Gene Clinic, where are you? There you are. A little bit of housing and some amenities. Alloys up to 1,000. So, do some upgrades. It's 500 for the upgrade. still losing money though. We can sell more food. So you're plus 79, so
Technology secured.
and get up to 100. Research alternatives have +1. So cold fusion reactor. Research station output increased by 10%. Let's do that one.
A new port to call home.
Gene clinic, because grow people faster. Sorry, not. I guess they are technically people. Grow more Cyclops faster. Was this ship upgraded? I don't know.
There is new information in the situation log.
De facto galactic trade, unbound by the performance of international diplomacy, has existed since we first discovered that we are not alone in the universe. As new borders are discovered and old ones redrawn across the galaxy, galactic leaders agree that it is time to legitimize this commercial forum so that all may benefit. In the coming years, independent traders and government agencies will be looking to establish a quasi-centralized hub for galactic commerce. We would surely benefit were this hub to fall within SMR test space, so we can choose to promote one of our worlds for this purpose. Option, understood.
Galactic Hub begins founding the Galactic Market event chain. So
We are being contacted by aliens.
somebody's doing attacking somewhere. So we'll nominate our capital, I guess. So decisions. Distribute luxury goods.
Aren't your legs getting stiff?
Oh,
You haven't moved in quite a while.
we don't have that.
Stretch, damn it, you ignorant meatbag.
We can't do a hub we don't have the money, we don't have the influence. What the hell? Okay, looks like it's not going to be us. We don't need a stockpile. Well, it doesn't seem to be where you've been using it, haven't we? I have to go through all my planets and see who's doing the automated stuff, because we don't like to do that. I don't like this is the default. Okay.
Hard to port. Our lookouts spy a spaceborne life form.
Do we? Do we really? Haven mineral request. Uh-oh.
Whether due to negligence, incompetence, or sheer misfortune, Haven now struggle with their mineral supply. Without help, it is very likely that millions will suffer. Option 1, we must help our fellow Do-ones. Option 2, what do we get in return? Option 3, if they want aid, they should rejoin us.
Okay, Stored as separatist modifier added for 10 years. Trade value increased by 10%, but we'll be nice about it, because, you know,
Grow ever stronger.
that's the way it's supposed to be. Traditions. Okay, so the last of our tradition and the expansion stuff. So Galactic Ambition, Starbase upkeep is reduced by 20%. And we get another Ascension perk. Which one should this one be? Become the Crisis. No, we don't want to do that. Shared Destiny. More envoys. We don't have any subjects, though. Transcendent learning. Your level cap increased by 2. Executive vigor. Edicts fund increased by 100. Probably should grab that. Master of Mastery. Permanently increases the maximum number of districts a planet can support by 2. It can only be performed once on each planet. Tempting. Consecrated worlds. Yeah. One vision. Melting unity. Population of men. Oh, there we go. Let's do one vision. Rocket's being a butthead. Okay, so we could go up here for the dig site. Now these guys, though, they're xenophiles, so they shouldn't really mind us sharing a border with them, right? Although our close their borders, blah blah blah. Trade deal and salt, declare rivalry.
Technology secured.
They're observers, so they shouldn't really care about us going in here, I don't think. We don't have the influence anyway. Society research. Yeah, crappy influence. We need more. We'll go sleepy. Tomorrow's a big day. Oh, it is, Catker? Well, good luck. Hope you got your studying in. System catapult complex. Now let's do the field capacity. That's shit. Blocker.
We grow ever stronger.
Do it. So how much to upgrade our fleets? A minimum of 4. We only have 500, so that's why. Get all the minerals and stuff. Still automatically surveying, that's fine. Alpine World, Tundra World. Look at all this open space for now. Light menial, industrial, bronze, and bronze. So these guys are really early still. So industrial age are here. Cardials. They have a much better fleet than us still.
Established factions and fledgling movements alike have taken an unusually keen interest in our new colony on Curelia Prime. From the moment we announced settlement of this modest moon, nearly every political voice in the We Are One has had something to say about it. Our analysts don't suspect that anything truly radical is taking root on Curelia Prime, but they advise some caution. It's clear our various political entities intend to campaign vigorously on this burgeoning world.
Uh-oh.
Option 1. Keep a close watch on these activists. Option 2. We cannot allow this.
Local frontier modifier added for 5 years. I think shift chance plus 50%. No, or the event report political discourse on whatever happens in 200 days. Coriolis Prime. Is that one of our planets? It is. That's the newest one, I think. Cannot allow this. So lose unity. Political crackdown modifier added for 40 years. Unity from jobs is reduced by 10%. Governing ethics attractions increased by 20%. Stability plus 5. 40 years though. We'll see the report. Keep a close watch on the activists. Through hard work and experience, scientist Roseanne has developed new skills. He is adaptable, so experience gain increased by 25%. Dig space.
Archaeologists have unearthed more and more fossilized remains in the valley, and the count is now up to 26 distinct sapient species, none of them native to Gigawa Prime. Those fossils that have been sufficiently preserved to determine a cause of death all point towards physical trauma inflicted by blades, spears, or arrows. Not a single specimen appears to have been felled by the equivalent of modern projectile or energy weapons. The ruins of a small structure of some sort have been found near the entrance of the valley. It appears to originate from the same time period as the fossils. Perhaps it will shed some light on things. Option: curious.
Alien Fight Club. Don't talk about Alien Fight Club. Exactly. Speaking of Fight Club, how's our Unity relic stuff? Let's give our precursor insight. Let's do that. We have 2,000 relics.
Situations amended.
Attempts of blah blah. Be precursor connection to the near, on or near wherever.
We grow ever stronger.
Gimpy is raising money for the National MS Society for the 10th year in a row here on Twitch. Walk MS 2023 in San Diego is April 22nd, but Mrs. Gimpy, Mickey, Rocket, and Gimpy will be doing private walks in April and May. They are walking 1 mile for every $1,000 raised. If you would like to help with a donation, please visit stompingoutms.org. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And Veronica's working hard today.
We are too late. The smugglers on Denev IIB have begun trading modern weapons and crude narcotic stimulants to the local primitives in exchange for precious metals and slaves. Fighting has broken out between various primitive groups. Due to the high-tech weaponry now at their disposal, casualties on both sides have been horrific. The cultural contamination is irreversible at this point. Option: this is a disaster.
Plus 50% technological progression for 5 years. This planet, let's see. Just doing food. They should do some food processing facilities to go along with their farms. Losing rare crystals for whatever reason. Losing money, lots of money.
Research complete.
Population growth speed. Defense Army health. Let's see, orbital filing system. Heritage site, so it's an upgrade for a building. Sure. So money-wise, we don't have to buy. Oops.
Oops. Is that all you can say? That was really poorly done.
We don't need quite as many as those. That'll save us some money. Sell some more food. Sell some more crystals. See if this helps our economy any. True. Lucky and Veronica, how Veronica's reading everything. It would be really cool if I could change voices for different tunes. Yes, but it's just using your default text-to-voice, Windows text-to-voice voice. Sorry, text-to-speech voice. There we go. New skills for you. So her lifespan's increased for 25 years, so you can live a long time. Uh-oh. Oh, the tentacles always scare me.
The information we've been gathering about political campaigns on Aurelia Prime has led to some interesting forecasts. We see a trend towards broader acceptance of new ideas, outside the bounds of what we would consider stable political thought, but no significant move towards radicalization. Though any deviation from our core message could be said to weaken our power base, this may still amount to good news. This experiment amounts to a substantial body of research, invaluable as we refine our theories about colonial politics. Moreover, we have proven that even when fringe elements are given some ground, the SMR test people refute their most radical elements, and stay relatively close to our nation's principles. Option, excellent.
Political frontier modifier removed. Society research gain in 1,885. Authoritarianism promoted module, blah blah blah. Modifier added for 10 years. So good. That's working. Just to close up that hole there. Influence. How many more influence?
Technology secured.
Yay, gas refiner. Oh, cruiser. Do you want cruisers? Minor stuff? Habitats. Minerals or cruiser? Let's get cruiser.
Three nights ago, Chief Archaeologist Bewit Kelpmunger reported having a disturbing vision and has been shut away in their quarters until now. They believed the source to be whatever is down here with us. Option, ominous.
Of course it is. Of course it's ominous. Why wouldn't it be?
A system has been charted.
Oh, this guy.
We have received alarming reports from the surface of Vardavar I. It looks like our rogue scientist is consolidating power. They has given one of the feudal kingdoms access to advanced weaponry, and they are now in the process of conquering the rest of the planet in their name. A plan has been proposed to forcibly extract them, but it will require significant ground forces. There is no telling what effect this will have on the native population, as many have come to see them as a god. Option 1, the operation is a go. Remove them. Option 2, it would only make things worse.
That's a machine age. So they go to machine age no matter what. Let them stay there. What could possibly go wrong? Seriously, what could possibly go wrong?
We grow ever stronger. We grow ever stronger.
Which way should we go? Credits and minerals or credits? We're going to getting both. It's just a question which one we want first. It's time to roll. Our influence is just, ugh. In Federation, migration packs, research agreements, oh, commercial packs too. Oh, that's where all the influence is going. Uh-oh, the doorway.
What can only be described as a dimensional portal has been discovered in a remote location on Aurelia Prime. Weather prediction algorithms noticed a strange air current, which was eventually determined to be caused by the slight leakage of atmosphere into the portal. The rate of loss is far too small for it to make any difference to life on Aurelia Prime, but the very existence of this portal raises some disturbing questions, such as where does it lead to, and could something come through the portal from the other side?
Of course it could.
Option: intriguing.
Oof.
Ledger of situations amended.
Observe the rift in space discovered in road. Oh, we haven't done this one. Yeah, do this one first. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, Jeff, welcome back. Get back to work? He's working. He's coming in here and whining at me every now and then because Mrs. Gimpy's been gone for like, 90 minutes. And to quote her,
ever stronger.
I need to make a quick trip to Costco. It's been 90 minutes. Hey, welcome back. You can find and send them splunking into another dimension. That seems like a bad idea. Senate is now in session. How do we rank in the Senate these days? We're slowly picking up stuff there. Regulatory facilitation. Not away from economy, worker prompt resource output. Sure, we approve of that one. High consequences protection. Every mercenary faction gains naval capacity, now we abstain. There's no such thing as a quick trip to Costco. I know. And there's definitely no such thing as a quick trip to anywhere with Mrs. Gimpy.
Hey Gimpy, it is time to take a break. Your next break is in 2 hours.
Six more influence. So 2 months. Peace offer. We're not at war with anybody, so it's not us. Okay, so I'm going to take a break. I need to get up, stretch my legs, see what Mickey's up to, because he's not in front of the camera. I have a feeling he's still asleep underneath Mrs. Gimpy's desk, because that's where he was 2 hours ago. I have a feeling he's still there. Made it out of Costco in under half an hour. Then the universe rebooted. See, that's what happens. Anyway, I got to get up, stretch my legs, get some water. Be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the Dawn video.